So my project proposal is about something I don't think I knew about before I enrolled in these courses. But it's something that I grew to like, and I've gone on to implement a few times since I've learned about it. And that's project-based learning. And I thought that was especially useful when I realized that students in Taiwan have a lot of knowledge about specific details. So I think they would destroy anybody in trivia about math or science or history. They know details, but they don't know how to apply the details in a more broad stroke sense. So they can't, without stepping on anyone's toes, it's more difficult for them to be critical thinkers.
Yeah.
I think most people here would agree with that. So I thought with project-based learning, I could do something to contribute to maybe reverse that trend in my own students. And that's why I decided to make a project proposal about project-based learning. We do the writing projects in the reading class. And with the lower levels, it was a bit easier to do creative writing, which is typically what we do in these writing projects. In the higher levels, I thought that maybe their talents weren't being fully utilized. And that's where project-based learning's emphasis on creative and critical thinking really comes in handy. So if I show you this, they can't see on the camera, but this is a project I did about changing Taiwan's education system. And they worked together in groups to do this. And I thought they were very clever in their ideas. And I thought it was a smart approach that the students had to changing Taiwan's education. So rather than always make them write a story or a comic strip, I wanted them to basically use their brains, just be better at critical thinking. And I thought this was something that I could share with everybody. This is something I would demonstrate in a demo. If I was going to be here next year, I would share it in my demo and show them what you can do. So I don't expect every class to be able to pull this off. This is a bit ambitious, right? But you can do smaller things. And one example is...
This is a topic they have lots to say about.
They do. Yeah, if they have the ability to express this in English, fantastic. And it was an interesting project for everybody. They made a board game in order to practice vocabulary and speaking class. And their quiz results showed that practicing the vocab was helpful in playing the game. So different ways to do project-based learning. When you look at this online, it's a lot of like ambitious stuff, like being a civic planner, like reversing global warming. It doesn't have to be that big. So I thought a board game was a good way to practice vocabulary. It's making the material more personal to them, and also making it engaging and relevant. They designed the game and they played it, and I think if you watch the video, they laughed quite a bit when they're playing this.
How did when you announce you're doing projects, what do they say?
Well, I'm careful to use that word. Because if I say project, then they're like, oh, they anticipate something boring or tiresome. So I never say project. I break things down in small pieces.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Made that mistake.
Yeah, I made that mistake as well, and that's what made me change or be careful about the words I use. So, hypothetically, this would be something that we would all try. Instead of maybe just doing vocabulary, copying down the words, they could play a board game. And instead of creative writing, they could do something like this in their writing projects. If I were going to be the quote-unquote leader of this thing, I would have the coworkers of mine confer with me and discuss their plans. And we'd have a follow-up meeting also where we discuss what went well, what could have gone better, and how I could have better designed my instruction to my coworkers. And in the case of something like this where it's practicing vocabulary, looking at the test results I think would be a good indicator of how successful it was or wasn't.
How would you separate that though from the normal learning that they do? How would you separate?
Like making this board game?
No, separate seeing whether this had any effect or not from the regular methods of studying.
I guess it's not that it's inherently better, but it's something that it's more enjoyable for the students.
Sure, yeah.
And I think that's where some of my interest in pursuing these ideas comes from. It's more entertaining, and when they're more engaged, you don't have to worry about them not doing their job.
It's hard to measure, though, right?
It's hard to measure their entertainment, or
no, hard to measure what effect they have in a very short term. Anyway,
yeah,
over the years of doing it.
That's why I suggested looking at the quiz scores. Like compared to the last quiz score, how well did they do in the content? How well did this make them learn the content? I guess if you had to be super scientific, you make one group of students do this, another group not do it, have a control group, but that's beyond the scope. It would be unfair to the students as well. And yeah, surveys I think would be useful. I can send a survey saying to the students, how did you like this game? Did you think you learned well from making this kind of project? So those would be some measures of, some ways to measure the outcomes of the activity. And I would hope that doing this would be able to expand the local teachers' ideas about what teaching can be, what learning can look like. Because usually it's going on right now, they're just sitting there and listening to somebody talk. And they're not doing they're not participating. Not like this, not like that. So yeah, this is my presentation.
I do think the Taiwanese teachers probably would like to do something else. It's just with their...
They can't.
They can't with the curriculum they have, so
yeah.
the deadlines and so on.
Yeah.